Are you willing to fight for what you want? Or are you taking more of a passive stance and saying, well, I'm just going to go with the flow. I believe that everything happens for a reason, and then you're using that for an excuse not to push yourself, because that's kind of what happens. It becomes an excuse to not go after what we want, whether we think we don't deserve it or whether we think I shouldn't have that, I should be happy with what I have. So by going after something bigger means that I'm greedy, or I'm living indulgent, when really it's just the nature of wanting to develop ourselves into something more or experience more than what we've already experienced in the past. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. God designed us to grow and to develop, just like everything that's alive grows and develops. So if you're not putting effort into the areas that need growth, then it actually starts deteriorating. It goes backwards. It's like muscles need the resistance to grow, or they start deteriorating. Everything in your life will grow when you're up against some type of resistance, because it allows you an opportunity to push past that and to push forward and to really decide, how bad do I want this? Is this something worth pushing through, or is the discomfort of what I'm up against making me fall back and go back to the comfort zone? That's the biggest question is, do you go back to what's comfortable, or do you push through even though it's unknown, you don't know what's on the other side, it's totally uncomfortable, and it's something totally different than you've ever experienced before? So your life becomes a series of these types of situations. And the more you pull back and feel like, oh, I'm not ready to do this, the longer it takes for you to get to that other side, to get to that breakthrough, to have what it is that you're desiring to have. The longer it takes to experience that newness, that freshness, that elevated you. Now, every season doesn't have to be like the super hardcore grind. Oh, go after it, be a boss lady. And it doesn't have to be this aggressive, tenacious, lioness season. But some seasons call for that. Some seasons call for you to really, really dig deep and really, really pull out of you, who am I? What do I want to accomplish? Why am I wasting time? When we get so disgusted with our results, we should always get to that point of hate. I know people say, oh, you shouldn't hate. Well, you will always tolerate what you don't hate. So you have to get to that point of like utter disgust, and then use it to move you into a creative state and say, okay, what can I do to change this? And what moves can I make so I don't experience this anymore? Now, every season, again, doesn't have to be that super aggressive, tenacious lioness season. Some seasons call for you to step back and allow God to move. This is where you need to be tuned into the rhythm that God has for your life, so you know which season you're in and which season you're not in. Because he might want you to move, and you're like, well, I'm staying back. And he might want you to stay back when you're starting to move. So you have to be tuned into whatever season it is that God has for you. And right now, I'm in a season where I know I need to move. I need to take action. There's things that need to get done, and by me sitting back is not going to do anything. So be in tune to that, and then split it up so you don't hit burnout. You don't want to have a life of just grind, go, where you're just completely burnt out, and then you're left just feeling exhausted and tired and everything. So simplify your life in the areas by letting go of the things that are no longer producing fruit in your life. What used to work in the past might not work now. The things that you used to do before might not work now. A really good example is if you grew up poor, or you dealt with a little bit of poverty in your life, you're probably used to going and spending time looking for a good deal. Like, for example, going to the outlets and searching through a good deal, or going to the thrift store to find things, because it's just the habit of needing to find the things cheap, even though you might have the money at that time to not have to do that. My grandparents did this. They lived very frugal because they were raised frugal, or raised poor, and so their life became extremely frugal. They didn't have to. They could have experienced more. And I remember one time my grandpa came to visit me, and they took one of those super shuttles instead of taking just like a regular cab or Uber. And the super shuttle took like 3 extra hours just to get them, 20 minutes. and he saved $15, and he was very excited that he saved $15 on the super shuttle, but he lost 3 hours of time. So by the time they arrived, because of the 3-hour time difference, they were exhausted, but he thought it was a win because he saved $15, and he wasn't even in a position where he needed to save the $15. But it's the mentality of, oh, I got a good deal, so I traded so much of my life for that good deal. You know, how many hours do you spend thrifting to find a good deal? You really are, it's costing you your time. One of the things Grant Cardone said that always stuck with me, he said that the poor sell time and the rich buy it. And when I thought about that, I thought, okay, so you need to find things that are buying your time back, that are making you more productive. This is also biblical because you're multiplying things. You're multiplying your time, your talents, your resources. You're not selling the time, and then, because you only have so much time in a day, you're trading your life for whatever it is that you're doing. So you're going to face burnout at some point because your body is not going to hold up to what you're doing. You're going to age and deteriorate. So thinking in terms of multiplying and buying time is really just, what steps can I make that are going to help me multiply in my life so I can experience all of the things that God has for me to experience in these seasons. And a lot of it has to do with simplifying and letting go of what's not working, cutting those things from the root, letting go of what's not producing fruit. These are weeds in your life. These could be toxic relationships, toxic habits, wasting time gossiping on the phone, wasting time just chit-chatting. You know, how much time are you spending watching Netflix or trash TV? Are you, like, all of these different habits that are not producing but that are sucking the time? Those are the things that need to go, because you realize you then have time to prepare a healthy meal, to go on a walk, to work out, to pray, to read your Bible or read an inspirational book, to really grow and develop. You end up having more time to do those things because you let go of all the things that were comfortable that sucked the time. It's a trap being in a comfortable life because you don't grow. You're not forced to grow. You're not forced to develop. You're just on autopilot. Most of the time, your habits are just dictating where you're going, what you're doing. You're not really thinking. You're just moving at a pace that's not even like thought-provoking because there's no need to. It's too comfortable. So you do the same thing every day and you get the same results every day, and then the years go by and you realize, well, what happened with the time? What happened with it? Well, you didn't do anything. You just wasted it. So being on guard and being awake and aware, knowing that life is precious. This is every day you have as a new opportunity to make a difference, to do something different, to shift courses. You don't have to stay on the same course for the rest of your life. You can change whenever you're ready to change. Whenever you want to change, you can change. Stop waiting for an outside thing to happen to then tell you, okay, it's a good time to move. Interest rates are low. It's a good time. You know, you need to move when it's like, how bad do you want it? Like, nothing needs, when we moved from where we used to live to here, nothing really lined up, actually. It was just the desire of, like, I need to breathe. My family needs to get out of this season that we've been stuck in. I need it more than anything. It became like a die. Like, I need this or I'm gonna die. Like, that's how I felt. Like, we need life. We need to let go of the past. I'm tired of going around this same mountain. I was suffocating. So did it cost us? Yes, it did. But the liberation and the freedom that came from that, and has it been bumpy? Yes, it has. But the liberation and freedom that came from that decision has shifted our whole course of our life. Like, it shifted the course of my kids' futures, our life, business, mentality, thinking. It shifted everything. It caused us to grow. It caused us to come up higher. It caused us to take chances and risks that we normally wouldn't have taken. It caused us to really get serious, to discipline, to exercise self-control, because there was no going back. That ship had burned and we were forced to keep moving forward. So when you put yourself in a situation where you are forced to move forward, then there's no going back. There's no plan B. Like, you're married, you cut off everything else. There's no dating, there's nothing. This is it. We move forward and we experience freedom in life. And that's what you do. But again, how bad do you want it?